Greetings to another tutorial where I show you how to port a knife model to CSGO using CSGO animations. This tutorial will be divided into 3 parts: view model, world model, and world dropped model. Right now we can see the view model. The beginning of the file should always start with the letter V underscore. Then we can see the world model. The beginning of the file should always start with the letter W underscore. Finally, we see the world dropped model. The beginning of the file should always start with the letter W underscore, and the end of the file should start with the underscore dropped. At first, we'll look at the video where are CSGO knives that we can use for our tutorial and choose the one we like its animation. The video link is in the video description. After we've found our favorite knife animation, go to the CSGO folder and find the pack.dir VPK file. Open it and find our knife. Mark the knife files and drag them to our folder. We'll open the crowbar and decompile our model. In my case, the knife I want to port to CSGO will be from game Team Fortress 2. We'll decompile the model again. Turn on the blender, import the knife that we want to port, mark the model with the right button and delete the bone. And now we'll try to turn the knife straight, and if we do not do our best, we'll have our knife crooked. The knife is turned pretty straight, upright, and we can import our decompiled CSGO knife. Now we have to fit our knife as accurately as possible with CSGO knife. The handle should be in the same position unless the handle is fitted in the same position. The player may hold the handle in the wrong position. Mark CSGO weapon and delete it. If we do not see the bar on the right, place the letter N on the keyboard. Set the 3D cursor to 0, 0, 0. Select the weapon, click Set Origin and then Origin to 3D cursor. Mark the weapon and choose what has skeleton in its name. We will write knife and choose V underscore weapon underscore knife. If the knife turned 90 degrees on the knife, so it's a sign that we are doing things right, and we turn the knife back 90 degrees. We export the model to where we exported our CSGO knife. Go to the folder where the CSGO knife is decompiled, copy the name of the exported file from the blender, open the QC file and paste the name into the body group. We choose any path to MDL file and any path to the VMT file. We will create a new folder, for example named underscore textures, where we create folders according to the command $cd materials. To find out what VMT files our knife uses, let's look at Blender. So it uses only one VMT file, and in my case I have to find it in the Team Fortress 2 VPK file. Let's look at the QC file of the decompiled model we want to port and CD materials to see where the VMT file is located. Mark the file and drag it to our newly created folder. You can rename the file as you like and open it. We have opened our VMT file on the left and we have opened a VPK file on the right to find our VTF file. Find the VTF file and drag it to our VMT file. Again, we can choose any name for the VTF file. Then we edit the VMT file. There is the address to our VTF file. I show the materials folder and the VTF file as an example only, and that's why I delete it. We have moved to the folder of our decompiled CSGO knife. we open the file containing our knife that we want to port, and the words we see that are repeating represent the VMT file. But since we changed the original name of the VMT file, we have to change this name to the correct name of the new VMT file. Open the folder with our textures, copy the materials folder and paste it into the CSGO folder. Open the crowbar and drag the QC file onto it, then compile it. After compilation, click on Use in View, then on View, and the model viewer opens. In model viewer, we add our hands. Click on Options, View Model Mode, and we see that we have done it beautifully. We will clean up, create a folder called Done, and copy the folder Materials. Open the crowbar, drag the QC file to it, set the subfolder, and compile it. Copy the contents of the compile and paste it into a folder named Done. And now, looking at the folders, we can see that the materials folder is ready, the models folder is ready, so we have the files that are ready to use. Before we start making a world model, we will clean this file, so we delete what we don't need. We extract the world model from CSGO and put it in our folder. Decompile the world model. From the folder where our real model is, copy the file containing our knife, paste it into the folder with our world model. On the left we have our real model QC opened, and on the right we have our world model QC open. In the world model, edit the path to the model, the path to the SMD, and the path to the VMT file. From the world model folder, import our knife. Delete the bones on the knife. Import the file from the original world model. Select the skeleton with the right mouse button and hide it with letter H. Select our knife, then click on the skeleton. Then click on weapon_hand_R, and as you can see, the knife caught on the bone beautifully, but needs to rotate 90 degrees, so we clear weapon_hand_R from the box and then rotate the knife 90 degrees and type weapon_hand_R in the box again. Mark the CSGO knife and click on the wire. Then we'll try to center the right handle so that the world model player holds the handle correctly, and then we'll try to keep the knife exactly in the knife whenever the box is empty or there is no weapon_hand_R. Select the CSGO knife, then we can give the CSGO knife texture. Select the CSGO knife and press on the keyboard Alt+H to make the bones visible. After marking the CSGO knife, we can delete the CSGO knife. Select our knife, set the 3D cursor to 0, 0, 0, and then click on the Set Origin and then on the Origin to 3D cursor. Right click the knife, select the world model folder, and then export the model. And because we have already set up our QC file, we just need to compile it. Grab the file and drag it to the crowbar, then compile it. After compiling, we look at our model, so we click on Use in View. Then View. After the model viewer has opened, we click on Bones. If we see our knife on the left foot, it is a sign that we adjusted everything correctly. Open the crowbar, drag the QC file to it, set the subfolder and compile it. Copy the contents of the compile folder and paste it into our folder named Done. And when we look at what we have in the models folder, we notice that we have a fully functional world model and view model available. When the world model is finished, we remove the unnecessary files and export it from the CSGO world dropped model. We decompile the world dropped model. From the view model folder, copy our knife and paste it into the world dropped model folder. We have the world model QC file opened on the left and the world model QC file opened on the right. In our world dropped QC model, we'll edit the path to the MDL file, the SMD file and the VMT file. In the Blender, we import our knife. Delete its bones again, for example by marking the skeleton with the right button and the delete key, and then import the original world dropped model CSGO knife. Move our knife in the Blender again to correspond to the CSGO knife position. In the window, select the name that contains the skeleton at the end, then select weapon _hand _R. First, set the 3D cursor to 0, 0, 0, then set origin, and finally origin to 3D cursor. Select the world dropped model folder, and then export. We duplicate our exported world model dropped file and name it at the end of _fis. And in our world model QC, we write this name. Compile the model, then click Use in View and then View. If we see bones at our knife and we see that the physical model is exactly glued to our model, then everything is right. We'll compile our world dropped model again, but with the difference that we will click on the subfolder. Copy the contents of the compile folder and paste it into the folder named Done, and then see that we have a view model, world model, and world dropped model in the folder, and we also have the necessary textures ready. Go to the folder named Done, create a folder named Server Side, move the Materials and Models folder to the Server Side folder, and then duplicate the server side folder, rename it to fdl_side. Open the fdl side folder, put the star character in the search box, select only the files and drag them to bzip2.exe file. Download link for bzip2.exe is in the video description. We create a text document called paths.txt. On the left we have our paths.txt file opened, and on the right we have the server side folder opened. Type star in the search box again, select all files, hold shift, and then right click on one of the selected files and copy as path, and paste into our paths file with Ctrl+V. Our copied addresses and then Notepad++ and Ctrl+F will replace sentences and edit lines as I do. We can try to make the text document a little clearer, such as putting textures on top and then putting them in the view model, world model and world dropped model groups. And when we have everything beautiful, it is good to always check it one after the other, so in folder fdl_side should be in materials folder, all files in extension bz2. In folder models should also be all files in extension bz2. In folder server side we can see if we have all the textures here and if we have the view model, world model and world dropped model here, and then we can check whether paths are created in the paths.txt folder. So that is all for this tutorial, and see you in the next tutorial.